Hey guys, it's Base from BaseFit Official and welcome to the second episode of the BaseFit Opinion. I loved doing the last episode, so I'm doing it again today. I went on that list and I looked at the second thing in that list, and what it was group training. Was the second kind of biggest hot topic that they listed on this website that I'm looking at. Now the first thing I want to start it up by identifying three groups that I've made in my brain. So they're not like hard rules, they just makes everything easier to kind of understand. So, group training I've split up into three categories. Small groups, medium groups, large groups. Pretty easy. Small groups I think are around 2 to 6-ish. Medium groups 7 to 20-ish, and large groups 21 plus. Now keep these in mind because this is kind of important. Down here, I've written two kind of variables that affects it off the top of my head that I think are very important. I've noticed that as the group size increases, the general motivation within the group itself, the motivation, it's higher as the group size increases. But what's very important to understand and notice is that as the group size increases, the attention to the individual decreases. Now this is important for many reasons. The same reason why having a personal trainer focused on you and solely on you is very important, so that he can point out different things here and there that you're doing correct and you're doing wrong, so that you perform to the best of your abilities and you don't get injured. So I just wanted to point that out at the beginning, the fact that motivation increases with group size, but as group size increases, the attention to the individual decreases, part of the nature of the game. Small group sizes is about 2 to 6. There will be less motivation in the 2 to 6 range within the group among beginners. What you'll want to notice is that with more advanced or more intrinsically motivated people, so people who are motivated by themselves, will still find motivation here, and that is an extremely good situation, because then the attention to the individual is also a lot higher. So that's when you'd want to use a small group. Medium group, 7 to 20 people, motivation is a little bit higher. The attention to the individual is kind of mid-range. You can kind of look at each person and maybe correct one or two things. But the large group, 21 plus, you need multiple coaches, multiple class instructors in order to get near to adequate amounts of attention to each individual. On to the pros and cons lists that I've written down. So, group training is social. It's more social than going to the gym on your own. So people who don't go to the gym might find it as a social occasion, so that'll get them moving. Good job. It could be fun. Being social is also being more fun. It might be more enjoyable for the individual. Good job again. It's more motivating, as I said. As group size increases, it's more motivating. So naturally, even if you have 3 people in your group, there's more people than just yourself in a normal training session. There'll be more motivation there. And it's also quite easy to follow along instructions. Now, I find this really interesting because if the class is well programmed and well designed, a beginner weightlifter or a beginner athlete or beginner person at the gym is opened up to solid programming right from the start, and I think that's that is a good thing that can happen. So those are the pros that I've written down. The cons, obviously the attention to the individual, that is a humongous con for reasons that I've said before. Now it gets a little bit longer words. Enforcement, I'll move to this side. Enforcement of faulty motor programs. So this is kind of hand in hand with attention to the individual. If the attention is not there and it's a beginner and they don't really know how to perform the movement, they'll keep doing that movement wrong, essentially, without being told how to do it right, because the attention to the individual is not there, and they will progressively walk closer to an injury. Third thing I've written is encouragement of continuation under fatigue. You see this all the time. Push, 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 push. Harder, 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 harder. From a well-meaning class instructor, but what they don't take into account is that, especially with beginners or people whose motor programs aren't very strong, they will, once they hit fatigue and their body hits fatigue, they will revert to poor. If they had good form in the beginning, they will have gone back to poor form when they're fatigued. And if they're just getting shouted at and forced to go, 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 go under poor form plus poor fatigue equals injury. So you're walking towards an injury with that. Again, you don't have to worry so much about encouragement of continuation under fatigue if the group size is small or the athletes are advanced, because if you pay attention to CrossFit, a lot of the CrossFit games, those athletes are very advanced, and on the whole, the majority, they're performing under fatigue with decent form. On the majority. Beginners can't do that. Once they get fatigued, they lose form, and that is very bad. So it brings me to my last and final point: skilled versus unskilled. Coaches, instructors, fitness class instructors, leaders, you get the point. Skilled versus unskilled. You always want to have a skilled instructor. Skilled means that he pays adequate attention to each individual. He's able to motivate the class. He's able to understand when a beginner is getting fatigued, and the encouragement of continuation should not happen. You should be told to rest for longer so that you maintain good form. You should be able to understand if there's motor programs that are faulty being enforced within the class. And so taking all that into consideration, if the fitness instructor is skilled and if there's adequate attention to the individual, I think that might happen around the medium zone, is you have a good amount of motivation and a good amount of attention to each individual. If there's a skilled coach in a medium or small setting, I think that I like group training. However, if there is an unskilled fitness instructor not able to notice when the encouragement of faulty motor programs or the continuation under fatigue is hampering an individual or a beginner, I don't think it's a good idea. And especially large groups with an unskilled or not enough skilled instructors in the class, that's bad. You don't want that. So there's not really an overall opinion. It's dependent on all of these factors. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is just my opinion. You can have your own opinion. You can listen to other people's opinion. But I think my opinion is right. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all that cool stuff, and I'll come at you next week with another opinion of the third thing on the list of the website that I was looking at. Yeah, train hard.